Heyo. I thought I'd send out a video of what we're going to go over this Saturday at Silent Supper, the new vocab, a new grammar that I want to share with you here and explain. And I'll explain it here a little bit too. That might be easier than trying to explain it and assign to you on Saturday too. And then I have some church word vocabs. So, all right, the first one, and I was contemplating, I think I'm not going to say them, I'm going to fingerspell them. So, and then I'll give you the list on Saturday, you'll have it, but this way you can practice fingerspelling as well, or catching fingerspelling. All right, first one. So first one. Second one. Okay. Next one is kind of a phrase, it's 3 words, so I'll go so. You want to do it 3 times, at least. Okay. Next one. Next one. Or you can use T's. It's the same word as, that's it. Same concept, so you can either go this or like this. Okay, next one. I don't know if going to sideways helps you or not, but next one. This is your hand shape, K's, in a circular motion away from your body. Okay. Next one. Or, to be emphatic about it, you kind of take it and kind of flick it a little bit. Or just in general. Okay, next one. It's a long one. Use P's here. Or you can just use your hands. This is also how you would sign the word. Okay. Next one. Pinkies here. Okay. Actually, go this one. Okay. Next one. Hand shape is X's in both hands, and you go like this. Kind of like fingers are kind of wiggling here as you go up and down, alternating. Okay. Okay. Next one. Handshake is a Y. Handshake. Hitting each other like this. A lot of times this can go with a head nod, kind of an affirmative, or emphatic, I should say, emphasizing it. Many times when you answer or say something in the affirmative, like yes, or this one, I'm not going to say it because you need to finger spell it, catch it. You kind of do both at the same time. Similarly with if you're saying something negatively, like no or not, or let's see, or you don't even need to, it's just implied. Okay, next one, 2 words. Okay, the F is your hand shapes for both. This one's a little tricky. You're going to take your dominant hand, go under, okay. You can also do this like think you got a person here and me here. You're kind of just swapping them out, okay? So your dominant hand's kind of doing this circular motion. This one's kind of following along. A lot of times there's this also kind of going from one place to the other. Not, you can go in one straight, but a lot of times it's kind of moving. A moving sign a little bit, okay? Next one. Okay. Next one. This is in general. That word can have different meanings, and depending on the meaning, you may sign it a different way, but this is in general, this is how you're going to sign it. Next one, long word. Kind of going downward from your cheek, down. Okay. Next one, 2 words. This one, a lot of times, is going to go along with this facial expression, which is something I can explain later, or if you have questions, just ask me about it. Next one. 2 words? Hand shapes are case. You're kind of swiping across your hands here. This is different than the one, we did this and we did this. This one is going this way. But it's also, because it's something that's progressing, you're going to kind of go down or go forward. Or you can also sign this way. There's a sign for so obviously the opposite of that, you could sign it this way. Okay. Last vocab word here. A lot of times when you do this, it's these two words together. They'll be first one. I just said for you in general. Okay, so that's the vocab. So the new grammar I want to introduce to you here is when you're referring to anything, you're either pointing to it, because like I mentioned in the previous video, when your people space, when you're talking about a person and you're pointing to that person. So kind of along that same vein here, if you're talking about a place, even if you're talking about a person and where they are, and you want the sign for there is there. I mean, you're pointing to it there, this way or this way. But the grammar aspect of this that I want to explain here is you need to, as much as you can, you're pointing to the actual direction in which it is. So if I would say my parents live in Metamora, they live there. You just have to trust me from where I am that it's in that general direction. There. So you're going to point to it. Or, let's see, it would be another one. Okay, my grandma, she lives Wisconsin. It's there, or there, whatever that way. Okay? But the difference here, another thing you want to add to this, not only do you want to point in the general direction of what it is you're talking about, or the place you're talking about, or the place you're going to go, or where people are from, whatever. Depending on how far it is from you, distantly, that's not a word. Depending on how far a distance it is from you, your body and your facial expressions are going to do something different. So, I might say, okay, there's a chair. It's right there. See this? It's right there. It's right there. That means this is it's close. It's right there. It's right there. So I'm kind of making my body go towards a little bit. It's right there. Or if you're giving, these is especially important if you're giving directions to somebody, which is another thing. Maybe we can practice it another time. But so you're giving directions to someone. Okay, to church from my house. Okay, so you go to church. So you're gonna go out Lynn Street. You're gonna go out, and then you're gonna turn left, and then so then I say you go around the square. And if you're on, is it Amanda? And then you turn to Glen, and you turn Glen, it's right there, So again, this is something you're going to bring into when you're explaining something, getting close to where it is, the place that you're trying to get someone. You're going to say, okay, maybe there's a building, and then my home is right there, it's right there. So again, this is where this is gonna come into play. It's close. It's right there, right there. The opposite of that, if something's really far away, like for instance, okay, Uncle Tom met Lisa, so they live Mongolia. So what I'm incorporating here is a couple things. My body is leaning away from where it is I'm pointing to indicate distance here. Sometimes you can even shake your hand a little, and your mouth is slightly open. So you're showing through your body movement, through your grammar, your facial expression, the distance of something. If something's, okay, like Metamora, it's not that far. I mean, it's there. So, and that's something you'll kind of learn to gauge a little bit, is something's really far, or it's just far, or it's over there, or it's right there. It's right there. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. So if someone asks you where you're from, and you're here in Washington, but you don't live in Washington, because if someone asks me, I'm here in Washington, I'm saying, here. I'm from here. Parents, Metamora. Frank and Angie, yeah, a little bit further. That way. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so if you have questions about that, we'll go through these, like I said, again, this Saturday, so I just wanted to go through these before this Saturday so you know where we're going, and it'll go a little bit faster. So last thing is church vocab. So a few words I did last time, and again, I want to continue that, just specifically vocab or words that we use in church. So just kind of help encourage some of those kind of conversations you can have with deaf people as well. Okay, so the first one. Next one. We sign it this way. And these ones I will talk. I'll make you catch all the fingerspelling here. This is a sign for bought or buy, so of course we're going to sign what I just fingerspelled this way as well. Okay, the next one. Is your fingerspell? Handshake? It's also the sign for next one. This is a longer word. It's one we use a lot. Or it's kind of, so you're kind of apart and you're brought together. There, this barrier here has been broken down. Okay. Next one. Use an E, or I guess, I'm sorry, you go this way. If you're right-handed like me. Start on your left, go to your right. Okay, next one. There's two ways you can sign this one. Well, there's more than two ways. Also, some of these signs, depending on your beliefs, they can be signed differently as well. For instance, the sign I just fingerspelled, or the word I just fingerspelled, can be signed like Catholics, like people who would sprinkle, or like on a baby. We sign it, there's a submersion happening. You can also sign it like this, like it signifies a person going under, but in general, sign it this way. Next one. You have an H here, this way. This is a sign for pure, clean. Next one.